Is there anyone that owns property within 185 feet of the proposed rezoning that would like to speak against the proposed rezoning? Is there anyone that owns property outside of the 185 feet of the proposed rezoning that would like to speak for? And finally, is there anyone that owns property outside of the 185 feet of the proposed rezoning that would like to speak against the proposed rezoning? If there's not, are there any other questions that council has either for Chad or Tom?
I would just say at the planning and zoning meeting, no one came to speak for or against it in that form either.
Thank you, Nathan.
That being the case, we'll officially close the public hearing and have the first reading.
An ordinance to approve the rezoning of property located at 931 Merriweather Road from the R3 multifamily residential district to the P public district.
We have one item under the topic consent agenda, and that is to consider a motion to accept the utilities. Darren?
So staff is requesting a motion to accept utility easement from University of Missouri. This is so the RMU can install a water line across university property. So staff does recommend accepting this easement.
Questions?
I think Watts Drive is the one kind of near Stonehenge, so it's back behind the housing development that the university has, right?
So, I mean, Watts Drive is, it's over by TJ Hall, correct?
No, Watts
Okay.
Drive being north, or like you say, by Stonehenge.
Yeah.
And this is
If
new
you're
water
south.
main from Watts Drive going west on the north side of the residential complex.
Thank you.
So is this all on S&T property? Is that, okay, that's what I thought I was understanding.
If there's no further question, is there a motion to accept the utility easement?
I'll make that motion.
Barrett will second.
Motion made in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Acknowledgement and/or special presentations. We have one from Rebecca West, which. There she is.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca West. I'm with Missouri S&T, and my job is to work with events at S&T, and of course, Celebration of Nations falls under that. And so I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about Celebration of Nations and all that we have going on this year. So Celebration of Nations will take place on Saturday, September 20th, and it marks our 16th year anniversary. For people to get together to celebrate all the many different cultures and traditions represented in our community. This initiative began as a campus and community collaboration and has grown into one of the largest international events in the region, drawing residents, students, families, businesses, and visitors together to honor global heritage and shared experiences. The parade, which kicks off the day and starts at 11 a.m., like normal, is a favorite for many people. It features over 160 different country flags from around the world, student and community groups in traditional attire, international music, dancing, and some incredible sense of energy. Following the parade, the downtown festival will include food vendors, cultural displays, live performances on 3 different stages, interactive children activities, and educational booths. We will bring back our beloved camels and petting zoo and the fun passport game. We're excited to share that this year's event is receiving additional support through a very special grant from the Route 66 Centennial Commission. Hopefully some of you have heard about that. The funding will help us broaden our reach and raise awareness of the event beyond Rolla. We'll be advertising in Jefferson City, Springfield, and St. Louis to encourage more regional attendance with the goal of significantly increasing the number of visitors and participants this year. This grant will also allow us to tie in themes of travel, connection, and shared history reflecting the legacy of Route 66 in a way that complements the global spirit of the festival. As part of the celebration, local businesses are invited to sign up to receive a free commemorative 3x5 flag featuring both Route 66 and the Celebration of Nations branding. Displaying these flags in storefronts not only show community pride, but also helps create a more festive and welcoming atmosphere throughout Rolla in the weeks leading up to the event. Businesses can sign up online at nations.mst.edu, and the flags will be delivered by our Rolla, our Celebration of Nations interns, who are our Rolla High School students. We're also excited to introduce a new feature this year to enhance the food experience at the festival. Every food vendor will now display a clear and easy to read menu listing all of the available food and drink items along with the prices. These menus will also include spice level indicators. As we know, our cultural food can be a little spicy sometimes. And so the hot peppers designate, 1 is minimal and 3 is beware. It also includes information about allergens. So if anybody's allergic, it'll include what is in the food as well. So that's good. An event of this scale would not be possible without continued support of our city leadership, public works, public safety teams, local businesses, and all of our superior sponsors. I want to personally thank all of them for the coordination effort that goes into making an event a success year after year. We welcome your continued partnership as we finalize all of the logistics, particularly in the areas of all the street closures and the trash services, public safety, and volunteer coordination. And I would like to warmly invite all of you to attend Celebration of Nations this year. Hopefully you all have, but come back and see us. The students absolutely love to be vendors and participate. At a time when we can all feel a little uneasy and disconnected, Celebration of Nations reminds us how shared experiences, histories, and culture can bring people together in meaningful ways. We are honored to continue the tradition right here in Rolla. To learn more about Celebration of Nations, you can go to nations.mst.edu. We have all kinds of opportunities from students to community members, businesses, all kinds of things, and there's links to everything there. Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions that I can answer?
Rebecca, it's an absolutely wonderful event, and it does so much to put, Rolla on the map. I am curious, over the years, it's gotten bigger and better in so many ways. How big is the budget this year, and the revenue between the university and the sponsors? What does that look like?
Right now, we got an amazing grant. So, typically our budget is much lower, but this year we were able to secure a grant from the Route 66 Commission that put us about $58,000. The grant was $50,000, and then we have added in, as well. And we have sponsors, local sponsors, as well as S&T.
Because it used to be 20 or 25,000.
Yes,
So
it
now
has-
you got 50. University throws in 8, and then whatever sponsors pop up. So that's a huge increase.
Right, and with our grant money, we're purchasing 3 big billboards in each one of those cities, and as well as advertising that's going to be down 44 as well as 54 toward Jefferson City to be able to bring in our tourists for Celebration of Nations as well as just Route 66. So, and that'll happen this year and next
The
year.
bar for 2026 now is
I
pretty
know.
high.
I'm going to try. I'm going to bring it.
Thank you. Any questions for Rebecca?
I have one just real quick.
Sure.
Do you work with the Chamber of Commerce at all on any of the tourism grants? And
Yes,
if
we
so,
received the tourism grant this year as well, the $1,000. Yes.
I was just curious. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Thank
Great
you all
job,
very much.
Rebecca.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Great job.
Thank you.
Moving on to old business, we have 3 items. The first is an ordinance amending section 22-168 of the city code.
Yeah, this is an issue that surfaced when we were in the process of negotiating for the new city administrator. In section 2-168 of the Rolla City Code, there's the provision that really says that the city administrator serves at the pleasure of the mayor and the city council. But if there is an involuntary separation for political purposes or for any purpose, there is a severance that was provided for in the existing ordinance. When I came 28 years ago, I had a separate contract that provided for a 6-month severance. And so when we were in the process of negotiating that this time around with Keith, his attorney pointed out that the contract had a conflict with the city code. So what we propose is really just adding the language, and it's the section in parentheses. We're still retaining the 2 months severance pay, but it would be unless otherwise provided for by a separate employment contract. And of course, that's what we have for Keith at this point coming forward. So this is just an issue of clearing up a potential conflict in city code with the next city administrator.
Any questions for John? If not, can we have the final reading?
An ordinance amending Section 2-168 of the Rolla City Code and enacting a new Section 2-168 pertaining to the removal of the city administrator.
Move to accept.
Second.
Motion made and accepted. Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Han,
Yes.
Shelby,
Yes.
Balch,
Yes.
McNevin,
Yes.
Turbin,
Yes.
Pace,
Yes.
Reven,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance is approved. The next item is to consider an ordinance for a tower lease agreement.
So staff negotiated a lease with Whisper Internet so they can put their equipment on the water tower at the Rolla National Airport. Some of the key terms are it's a 5-year lease. Whisper cannot interfere with any other lessee. It's $335 a month with an annual 3% increase, and they will provide insurance naming city's additional insured. So staff is requesting the final reading of the ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute this contract. Is there any questions?
Any questions?
And did I just add, that's the same amount that we're getting off our existing incumbent antenna that's on the water tower.
Correct.
If there's no further questions, can we have the final reading?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a certain agreement between the city of Rolla, Missouri and Whisper ISP LLC.
Is there a motion to approve?
Turbin will make a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote.
McNevin,
Yes.
Shelby,
Yes.
Reven,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Balch,
Yes.
Pace,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
Turbin,
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance is approved. Next item is to consider an ordinance to codify an agreement with Pierce Asphalt.
So at the last meeting, council awarded the bid for asphalt phase 4 to the low bidder, Pierce Asphalt LLC. So tonight, we're asking for the final reading of the ordinance authorizing the mayor to end the contract with Pierce Asphalt for $199,819.40. Is there any questions?
If there's no questions, can we have the final reading?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a certain agreement between the city of Rolla, Missouri and Pierce Asphalt LLC.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Barrett will second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Shelby,
Yes.
Reven,
Yes.
McNevin,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Balch,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
Turbin,
Yes.
Pace,
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance is approved. Moving on to new business, first item is to consider a resolution authorizing the execution of a grant agreement.
So back in February, council authorized staff to put together a grant agreement with the Delta Regional Authority for a stormwater project in the downtown area. We did put in for that grant in April. A few weeks ago, we were notified that we were awarded that grant. So this is estimated cost of this project is $2.5 million, of which half of that would be coming from the DRA funds. So the DRA does require a resolution to accept this grant. So tonight, staff is recommending approval of a resolution accepting the DRA grant for stormwater improvements in the downtown and also authorizing the city administrator to execute any other related documents.
Darren,
Mhm.
when do you plan on doing the work?
So hope is to go out to bid next spring, summer, do the bulk of the work.
2026.
Mhm.
So, how to put this nicely, this is going to have a major disruption to downtown.
Yes.
So, the city always gets blamed. You didn't tell us, you didn't tell us fast enough, you didn't tell us enough times, blah, 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 blah. How do you intend to notify the people downtown of the impact of this? Because it will be significant.
Sure. So plan on a couple things. So first of all, I'm going to the next downtown association meeting. So I'm gonna start trying to attend those, regularly, to keep, all the downtown businesses, up with the schedule and what's going on. The other thing, the plan was have, some neighborhood meetings. I'm not sure where we'd host it yet, probably one of the churches in the downtown, before we go out to bid, let everybody look at the plans, and then try to have those, once a month during the project. And then, of course, the businesses that are, right there directly affected, should be knocking on doors 2 or 3 times a week, letting them know what's going on.
Is the project such that it could be staged, or once you start digging up the street, you're digging up the street?
Once you start digging up the street, and we're digging up the street.
Because you kind of thought you would be able to do it in
I mean,
block
it'd
at
be,
a
right.
time.
I mean, it'd be block at a time, but,
Yeah.
Once we start, there won't be any stopping.
So I know this is a little bit of a wild ass guess, but start to finish is how long, do you think?
So,
Weeks, days, months?
months.
Months.
This will be an all-summer project.
Is the bid constructed to give any incentives for time?
So typically on a project like that, yes, we'll do that. Example was the Highway 72 extension. When we did that project, time was very important to us. So, we had a clause in the contract that if they got the project done early, they got paid extra money. Ultimately, what that'll look like in this contract, I haven't got that far yet, but I think that would be our intention, would be, make time of essence and put a clause in there to, pay them extra money to get done early, or significant damages if they get done late.
So, is there an opportunity in the meetings with the downtown folks? Is there enough time to get some input from them on the impact to their business? So that would help you decide what kind of incentive to give to the contractor, right? Because you don't want to throw money away, but it's not significant enough, it's not an incentive, but
Absolutely. So, normally the incentives have got to be enough that they can afford to pay their help overtime, or they're not going to do it. It's not worth it to them.
if these businesses have business interruption insurance, some people have it, some people don't, would a project like this,
Probably not.
I don't know.
so it's not an act of God or something like that?
Yeah. I doubt the business interruption would cover it. And we're going to require that they have access to the businesses. So it's not like they're going
Right.
to be able to make an easy impact. And most of this is going down Rolla Street. So while it does kind of branch off, Rolla Street doesn't have that high retail segment that we would see on some sections of Pine Street until we get to the Sixth Street block.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just add real quickly, and I think we shared this all with council when we got this award. It is amazing that we got this award. This is a Delta Regional Authority. It actually extends from New Orleans, works its way up to Missouri. Phelps County is the actual northern series of counties to be in that basin. We happened to get the $50,000 grant through DRA. First time we ever got funding from them 2 years ago when we did the comp plan. Dawn was selected to be a DRA executive leadership program participant. We think all of that helped in, and then of course we reached out to businesses and had probably 15 businesses send letters all in the downtown area saying stormwater impact is having an adverse impact on them, and so all of that contributed to our competing for this grant. So MRPC did the application and really deserves a lot of credit for pulling this together. Sure.
So John and Darren, those letters weren't just a letter of support, they required, as I remember, an investment.
There was two.
Both.
One was sort of just a letter of endorsement and investment. The other one was a letter of a commitment from employment. And I don't know that we end up getting
We got one.
one of those, okay.
So who administers that?
who administers what.
So somebody went on record, it says,
Yes.
I promise to invest in my business, blah, 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 blah. There's a requirement there.
Yes.
So who's going to manage that that person did that? Is
At
that-
the end of the project, DRA will require us to go back to that business, and they would fill out another form that states, that they did
We
that.
anticipate having
Yeah.
MRPC as the
Yeah.
administrator of this
Right,
program.
absolutely.
So I'm not asking who the entity is, you don't have to tell me, even if you knew. But somebody should reach out to them that says, hey, remember you wrote this letter, this is a commitment.
I've already done that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
In this case, they have, I think, one employee, and they're promising to continue to have one employee, so I think the risk is pretty low.
Okay.
There were a few that were interested in doing more, but then when they knew that that was an obligation to perform, they backed off it, so.
Short arms?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions for Darren?
I think that's great. Thank you for the update on that, John. I remember reading the email
Yeah.
when it came out.
And this was work, I remember
So
Steve
great.
Hargis telling us 10 years ago, we were gonna have to spend a couple $1 million in this project. So the fact that we got 50% covered under
Yep.
grant from DRA is really, Darren's team pulled together the application with MRPC, and the downtown group supported. Lana helped promote that through the RDBA. It
great.
was really kind of an all-hands-on for a quick turnaround.
And very, very timely, so, we're working on budget right now, so this project will be in the budget for next year.
Yep, that's great. Thank you,
MRPC did a great job
They did.
Yep.
putting all the pieces together for this.
I should say legislators all sent letters of support, so that's just what it takes to get these done.
Darren, quick question. So the 50% match, is it up to 2.5 million? Like, what if we go over budget, do they cover 50%?
They would
Past
not.
that, or just up to 50% of the
Yeah,
2.5?
up to what they've committed right now.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, can you read the resolution?
A resolution accepting community infrastructure funding through the Delta Regional Authority for stormwater improvements and authorizing the city administrator to execute related documents.
Is there a motion to approve said resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Also
Second.
second.
Motion made and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Moving on to claims and/or fiscal transactions, we have two. First one is consider a motion to award a contract to McQueen Emergency.
Good
Chief?
evening. Excuse me. On July 9th, the City of Rolla Fire and Rescue received bids to purchase firefighter turnout gear. The city solicited bids from several turnout gear manufacturers, and the department received one bid from McQueen Emergency from Eureka to purchase 10 sets of athletic turnout gear manufactured by MSA Globe. Currently, each of our firefighters wear athletics turnout gear manufactured by this company. Our personnel unanimously endorse the purchase of this specific turnout gear, as it provides greater comfort and lighter weight, and it has a lot of built-in safety factors. In January of '24, the City of Rolla was awarded an ARPA grant through the Department of Homeland Security for the purchase of turnout gear. Our agency received a $27,900 grant that requires a 50-50 hard match. The department will use approved funds from the 24-25 budget to match the grant requirements. The department is recommending a motion to award the bid of $5,625 per set to McQueen Emergency for a total of $56,250 and approve the purchase of same.
Chief, for the public and the council, can you explain what turnout gear is?
So in this case, we're talking about the pants and the coat and nothing else. So it's pretty expensive, but that's the turnout pants and the coat that we wear that keeps us safe when we go into a structure fire.
Any questions by council?
That's cheap to keep you safe.
We would agree.
Yes.
So with the $27,900 grant, that means about $28,000 is what would come out of the regular budget?
$28,350, yeah.
And what do you do with the old gear?
It's a good question. Mr. Butts asked me that same question. So we replace a third of our department's gear per year. So the gear has a 10-year NFPA recommended lifespan. So when I receive new turnout gear, my turnout gear is now put to side as backup gear. So when my gear is wet or needs washed, has some kind of contamination, then I can put on my backup gear. At the end of the 6-year cycle, though, we wash that gear and we store it. We keep that gear in case we're out on a a tractor trailer accident or something, a lot of our gear gets contaminated, we have to have gear, and if it's all contaminated, we have backup to the backup, so we can keep running calls.
Okay.
New hires, when we hire new hires, we can use that backup gear as well to outfit them for, the first year or two till we get them fitted and get them their new gear.
Is it eventually thrown away?
It is. After the 10-year cycle, it's destroyed and thrown away.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other
Chief,
questions?
I would just also like to add that this is money that we budget every year, but it's kind of unusual when ARPA funding or grant funding actually allows us to reduce our out-of-pocket expense.
Right.
This has always been an annual general fund expense, and so.
Right. And
Thank
this
you
is
for
the second
joining.
year in a row we've been able to get this grant. It's not available for next year, so we have to budget for the whole amount. But any chance we can get a grant, we'd definitely try and take advantage of that. So,
Thanks, Chief.
thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Is there a motion to award the contract to McQueen Emergency?
Turbine will motion that.
Parent seconds.
Motion made in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Next item is to consider a motion to award a bid to Wade's Equipment. Floyd?
So we received bids looking for a replacement on our 2015 mower for a 2025 zero-turning radius floating deck mower, the 72-inch hydraulic lift. We contacted, direct mailed 21 different vendors, and then we also emailed those as well. We received the bids that you have before you. We tend to go with diesels because they tend to last a lot longer. We're mowing a lot in the park, so our staff is recommending the low bid from Wade's Equipment for the Kubota ZD 1211. Questions?
Any questions for Floyd?
And then Floyd, why don't you just share what we do with the surplus items there? You have it in the write-up, but just for the record.
Yeah, so we use them as long as we can use them, which tends to be anywhere from 7 to 10 years that we get out of these. And then once we've used them as much as we can, then we use them, train them to the airport, and they get typically another 3 years or so out of them until they're just not able to go anymore. So we really get I think a pretty good return on what we do, the fact, the longevity of how we use them.
And then we'll just surplus out or gov deals.
Right, at that
The
point.
old ones that
once,
they-
we get what we can get from them,
Yeah.
from gov deals after they're used at the
For parts, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we normally get for those? Is it a few $100 or is it $1,000 or?
Stephanie might remember. Can you think what we get for a used mower?
We've gotten as low as $3,000 and as high as $8,000.
That's not bad.
Depends on what we purchase
A lot more than that.
Not bad.
Any other questions for Floyd? If not, is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Turbine will second.
Motion made in second. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Floyd. Citizen communication, is there anyone that would like to speak to City Council? Ray, we don't want this meeting to go too quick. You sure?
I know that. I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
Well, not that I want to say. Yeah.
Okay. Mayor and City Council comments.
I have one. I did the Kids Safety Day with the BPAC Committee, the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee, on Saturday at Lions Club. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. I have to give a shout out to Scott Profit. He handled everything from bringing our stuff back to City Hall and making sure trash got removed. And we gave away a lot of helmets. The city was able to do that. And Ken was there at the latter part of the shift, and he's good with kids. That was fun. We had fun with those kids. And we had a junior cadet there named Caleb, who just did a really great job showing the kids how to put the helmet on. And so, anyway, that's a pretty neat event. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to attend and be a part of that, and we had a pretty good turnout, even though it was super hot that day. So,
One thing I want to mention, we spent a good part of last year talking about the library. And a lot of angst over a book, and I don't want to relitigate that whole story again. But, you know, in the paper last week or the week before, the library had a really nice event, kids event over there, where they had an alpaca come in and book reading and things like that. And it was really a nice article. When I reached out to the librarian, she told me the library's summer reading program so far this year had the equivalent of 17,000 books that were read.
Awesome.
That's phenomenal.
Yep.
That's phenomenal. So they do an absolutely terrific job there. And that's all I'll say about
Yep.
the library.
I want to add to your comments because when my daughter grew up loving that library, and when she comes down with her son, it's the first place my grandson wants to go, is to the library here in Rolla. And I absolutely love the library. They do such a fantastic job with their reading program. They are doing awesome activities with the kids. They have painting for adults and for adults. It's really fantastic.
It does. They do it, and they do it, and they don't brag on themselves enough.
Not at all.
They really
Not at
don't.
all.
I've
It's
al-
really well done.
I've only ever seen one other library that does, on par with that, and that was rivaling a big city, Mount Vernon, Illinois. This library rivals them with not even close to the same budget. So,
Yep, do a great job. Any other city council comments? Or comments for the good of the order?
The only thing I would remind council is that we've got the MML annual conference on March 21st, or it would be the second meeting, September 21st. At the next meeting, we should decide what to do about that meeting in September, the second meeting in September. Whether we want to cancel it, whether you want to have it, knowing that there may be 3 or 4 council members attending, or move it to Wednesday would be an option. So anyway, just floating that out, give it some thought, so we can make that decision on August 4th.
Thank you, John.
As of now, the next regularly scheduled meeting will be August 4th. Closed session, we have one item in closed session dealing with union negotiations. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Chairman will make a motion to go into closed session.
Shelby a second.
Roll call vote?
Turbin,
Yes.
Pace,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
Jackson, Shelby, Balch,